In the heart of the great kingdom of Nambilai, a place where ancient rivers carved paths through sacred lands, King Moli reigned. Known for his charm and diplomacy, he was loved by his people, or so they thought. King Moli's reputation painted him as a man of honor, a protector of traditions, and a benevolent guardian of Nambilai's land. But behind the facade, a dangerous hunger for wealth and power simmered in his heart. One evening, as darkness fell and the village prepared for a night of drumming and fireside tales, King Moli slipped away from his palace. Veiled by night and secrecy, he met with a group of foreign traders in a hidden grove. These traders, draped in strange, luxurious fabrics, promised the king unimaginable riches if he allowed them to mine the sacred lands near the village's lifeline, the beloved, ancient river that sustained the crops, animals, and people. What the villagers didn't know was that King Moli had already signed an agreement, granting the foreigners access to the land they cherished. It was an unthinkable betrayal, one that would forever alter the bond between the king and his people. But Lindau, a young girl of only 16, was perceptive beyond her years. She noticed that the river, once clear as glass, had begun to murk. Fish, once plentiful, disappeared, and the soil around the river darkened, causing crops to wither. Her friends warned her to stay quiet, but the signs troubled her deeply, and she couldn't ignore the growing whispers of sickness spreading among the elders who drank from the river. Driven by an unshakable urge for truth, Lindau decided to investigate. Late one night, she followed the distant sound of voices, hiding herself behind the grand acacia trees that grew near the edge of the sacred river. She heard King Moli's voice, confident and relaxed, discussing his secret deal with the foreign traders. They laughed as they spoke of their plans to dig deeper into the land and drain the river of its minerals, riches they would split between themselves and the king. Lindau felt her heart sink. This was not just a deal, it was a plot to rob her people of their heritage and livelihood. The king, the very man entrusted with protecting them, was poisoning their future for a handful of jewels. Trembling, Lindau ran to the home of the village elder, Nomusa, who had known the king since he was a boy. Nomusa listened, her face hardening with every word. It was risky to accuse a king, but Nomusa knew they had no choice. Gathering a few trusted elders, Lindau and Nomusa devised a plan. The following morning, as the villagers gathered for the weekly market, Nomusa called a meeting at the central fire pit. With steady determination, Lindau recounted what she had seen, describing the king's betrayal and the poison slowly seeping into their sacred river. Gasps echoed through the crowd, and some villagers wept openly. Others shouted in disbelief, but Lindau's conviction was undeniable. Just as the crowd murmured with rising fury, King Moli arrived, his face twisting in shock at the assembly. With his charming smile, he attempted to calm them, insisting that these were mere lies spread by a girl with an overactive imagination. But the villagers had seen the signs, the withering crops, the sickening elders, and their trust in him wavered. Fueled by their anger, the villagers demanded that the king reveal the truth. One of the elder men, brandishing his walking stick, stepped forward, pointing to the river and declaring, "Our ancestors speak through the land and water. You have betrayed them, and us." Cornered and unable to maintain his charade, King Moli's mask finally cracked. In desperation, he pleaded for forgiveness, claiming he had only wanted to secure a future for the kingdom. But the people were unmoved. They banished the traders from their land and stripped the king of his power, forcing him to live among the villagers he had wronged, to feel the sting of every poisoned crop and every dying fish. Lesson. In the end, Linda's courage and her unwavering commitment to her people taught them a profound truth: power can corrupt even the most trusted leaders, but a single voice, strong enough, can hold the powerful accountable. Her bravery lit a spark that spread like wildfire, reminding them that unity and justice must always prevail over greed.